Hello everyone, and welcome to another game I played on Ptcgo. For this match, I'm going to be using a Ho-Oh deck. This is actually the first time I've really experimented with this deck, so you'll see, let's just say, a bit of misplaying on my behalf. So you can see my opponent is favored to win this matchup, so it's not looking good for me right off the bat. And we're waiting for the coin flip here to see who goes first. Looks like we've got a heads, but my opponent chose tails, so I'm going to actually decide to go first, since I do want to get stuff in the discard. I'm going to start off with the Terrakion and plenty of energy. I play 4 different types along with DCE to try to get into the discard pile to use Rebirth, and my opponent starts off with a Mewtwo, so I'm not sure what deck he is playing, but that's a bit scary since I do play Mewtwo myself here. I will Ultra Ball here, and I think I'm going to go for Virizion, which I play Virizion, Mewtwo, Shaymin, and Suicune, I believe, in this deck, along with Terrakion, just to have a variety of attackers for different situations. So I do bring up my Virizion EX, I'm going to attach a Floatstone, and just play an N. I have 2 Mewtwo's, but I'm not going to play them just because I don't really want to initiate the Mewtwo Wars quite yet. Going into my opponent's turn, he can attack, so if he has a DCE, he can deal damage to me, but let's see what he does. He actually discards a Fairy Energy and a Plume Fossil, or a Fossil card. So that Fairy Energy kind of makes me think he's also running a Ho-Oh deck, and he pulls out a Tornadus and then an N, because I don't really see why you would run a Fairy Energy for any reason at this point. There are no good Fairy Pokemon to play. So my opponent attaches a DCE, then takes it back and attaches a Floatstone onto Mewtwo. So he's going to play a Twist Mountain and then send up a Tornadus, and hit me for 60. Here, I'm going to actually just go into Virizion. Since I do have a Grass Energy and an Energy Switch, I can retreat Terrakion, thanks to that Floatstone as well, and I'm going to get rid of his Stadium card and put down Virbank City Gym, and then it will Tool Scrapper away his Floatstone. Just trying to play down my hand since I am going to Juniper it, and here I will just Juniper, unfortunately getting rid of my Dowsing Machine in the process. And here I'm going to play, I believe, a Hypnotoxic Laser, but first I finally put down Mewtwo. Since he chose not to attach to it, I figure I will let him know that I also play Mewtwo. So I play the Hypnotoxic Laser, and here I'm just going to Emerald Slash for 50. This allows me to get 2 Grass Energies from my deck. I only play 2, I believe, 2 or 3, and there's only 1 in my deck still, so I'm just going to attach that 1 energy onto Mewtwo and end my turn. Going into my opponent's turn, he unfortunately stays asleep, fortunately for him, but he's going to play a Juniper. Again, I'm going through his discard pile, and I see the Ho-Oh go in there, or now I know that he is playing a Ho-Oh deck. He puts down a Bouffalant, attaches an energy to it, just passes, and he finally wakes up here. So now I have 2 Ho-Ohs in my hand. I definitely want to get those in the discard pile, but I'm debating what to attach where. I'm going to attach a DCE onto Mewtwo, so definitely threatening a Mewtwo War here, full on. I Junipered my hand away, managed to get 3 lasers, and we'll try a Rebirth here. I get 2 shots, and I managed to get it. So right now I can put Ho-Oh from the discard pile and attach those 3 energies, a Water, a Grass, and a Fighting, onto it. So now I guess I'm just going to Emerald Slash here for 50. So I don't really want to attack with Ho-Oh since it has a lot of energy attached to it, and he could just counter with a Mewtwo. So I managed to just knock out Tornadus EX with Emerald Slash, and I take the first 2 prizes here. So here my opponent is going to send up Bouffalant. I managed to get a Super Rod and a Virbank City Gym off of my prizes, but my opponent's going to reduce my hand size down since he plays an N. If he hits a DCE, he can hit me for 120. He goes for a Twist Mountain to toss out my Virbank City Gym. I'm not really sure why he plays Twist Mountain. maybe just to counter other stadiums. He goes for Rebirth, but it looks like he fails that. And he just passes, so he doesn't have anything else. Here I get another Terrakion. I'm going to play that down, and then I will end. I get a DCE and a Water Energy. Decide to attach the water onto Terrakion and play Hypnotoxic Laser. So here I'm just going to, once again, Emerald Slash. Again, I don't want to tempt him to attack Ho-Oh or Mewtwo since they both have more energy attached to them. I figure I will attack with Virizion until it gets knocked out. So now Bouffalant is poisoned and has a bit of damage. So hopefully he won't be able to get the DCE to be able to do 120. But it looks like he did just that and does 120 damage. Here I get a Shaymin. I'm tempted to play it, but I'm not really behind in prizes now, so I just Juniper it away. Get another Mewtwo. I'm going to put that down. Attach a Psychic Energy onto it in case I want to attack with that second one. Here I get an energy switch. I'm going to move a Fighting Energy from a Ho-Oh to Terrakion so I can retaliate if need be. Then I will Emerald Slash his Bouffalant for 30, but he takes poison damage in between turns and he's down to 10. So after his attack he will be knocked out. My opponent sets down a second Mewtwo. He knocks out my Virizion. And I'm just going to promote Terrakion with a Floatstone just to get ready to switch out, depending on what he sends up, since his Bouffalant hits the discard pile as well. So I take my third prize, and he takes his first two. Here, here's where I sort of mess things up. I actually have a Psychic Energy in hand, so I can just attach that to Mewtwo and side drive for the knockout. If I can hit an energy switch off of this Colress, but instead of doing that, I don't hit that energy switch, so that's not a possibility, and I'm just going to X-Ball here for 160. I could have also just attached that energy to that Mewtwo and X-Balled for the knockout, but again, kind of a misplay on my part. It gives my opponent the opportunity to attach to the Mewtwo I just attacked, and X-Ball for the knockout. So now I'm going to send up Mewtwo, get a Fighting Energy, which I can attach to that Mewtwo and just return knockout, but that does leave me open for a return knockout in turn, which I don't really want to do here, so I'm going to try to play it safe. Actually no, I do exactly that. I X-Ball for the knockout, and I'm just hoping here that he doesn't hit that DCE, so kind of a few misplays on my part here, but I am still in the lead. My opponent tries for Rebirth, and this time he gets it. So if he has the energy switches necessary, he can attack me this turn. And it does look like he's attaching at least one Psychic Energy here from the discard. He tries for a Catcher, but it fails, fortunately. I'm not sure what he was trying to Catcher up. Here I'm just going to put down Suicune in case I need to wall. And for whatever reason, I don't play the energy switch here. All I need to do is switch one energy onto Mewtwo, and I can side drive for the knockout. Instead, I'm going to do something else. I don't really know why. I'm going to Escape Rope into Terrakion, I believe, or actually I go into, Terrakion with a Floatstone to retreat back into Mewtwo. He sends up his Ho-Oh. I'm going to X-Ball it for 100. I've been trying to play it safe, but inadvertently just extending the game due to just my oversights of really basic things. My opponent's going to retreat back into Mewtwo, so here it's clear that he won't be able to attack me quite yet. He's going to scrapper away my Floatstone, but here I think I do realize that I do have game since I have the energy switch, so I can just send up one energy onto Mewtwo and side drive for the knockout and take the game. So that's the game, guys. Thank you for watching, and hopefully you guys can play this deck a little bit more effectively, but like I said, it was my first time. Thank you.